I call Chester Burrows.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's great to see the way that a certain tournament in South Africa with a rather oddly shaped ball is whetting the appetite for sporting tournaments around the world, and for our that odd, unusually shaped ball they're kicking around over in South Africa. We're looking forward to the tournament that's going to be here next year. I'm very pleased to see around the chamber a number of members of the parliamentary rugby team represented here tonight, and we're building up for that parallel tournament that will rage between the various parliaments around the world, as well as we seek after to not to defend but to win again the Parliamentary Rugby World Cup. And before then, of course, people will know that on the 11th of September we have the Parliamentary Rugby team taking on a Merrill 15 in Wanganui. There are all sorts of people coming out of the woodwork to have a crack at the captain of the other team. I look forward to seeing Steve Chadwick and Amy Adams locking our scrum, and look forward to the celebration that will be. And only a couple of Saturday nights ago I was at New Plymouth at Yarrow Stadium supporting our Taranaki All Blacks as we went through. We had a bit of a dry run for preparations for Rugby World Cup. The security measures, the alcohol measures that the former speaker, my colleague, has just been speaking about. And it is true that we need to get a number of our ducks in a row in preparation for this celebration event. And we've done that through the Justice and Electoral Committee, for instance. We've processed the private security guards and private investigators bill in foreseeing the problems that will arise and the security measures we need to have in tow. And this piece of legislation, the Rugby World Cup 2011 Empowering Bill, will take account for the changes that we will have to make to the way we do business and tourism in this country to account for the changing culture that has occurred over the last 23 years, 24 years, I suppose, by the time it comes round, since we last had a Rugby World Cup here. And if just to carry on from what the previous speaker was saying, the way that we do alcohol in this country has changed significantly. The previous Rugby World Cup was run under the previous Act prior to the 1989 Sale of Liquor Act, and all the changes and amendments that have occurred from then have sought to account for changes in hours, changes in availability, changes in access, changes to the actual alcohol that we are drinking, the levels of alcohol we're taking in per drink, and the way that people are responding to that, and the way the police have responded to that, and the way the rest of society have. So it's no surprise then that we need to put some permissions and some allowances and tolerances in the ground to make sure that this tournament, as we build up to it, the excitement rises and expectation of it, then is only seen as a celebration, and there are no big regrets that come after it, which can well happen if things are out of hand and if restrictions are either too tight or too loose so that people get hurt in the celebration of this wonderful event. So we look forward to seeing this process through the House. We are grateful for the support that is received across the debating chamber, and we look forward to the debate within the Select Committee process. But what we know is that we need to move speedily on this, not so speed as to be negligent, but to maintain caution and to be circumspect about those things that will impact on this being a truly memorable event for rugby lovers around the world, and what a privilege it is that it's going to be hosted in our country. Thank you, sir.
Call Kelvin Davis.
Mr Speaker, I've just